everybody, Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Happy 4th of July to all of you. Hope you're having a great day today. I'm going to give you an update as far as what's going on with this system. It has changed some, so I want to make sure you have all the information that is available out there. Matter of fact, I'm showing that some places there's about 85 miles per hour wind gust that is coming, and we do have some 50s and 60s as well. This thing's starting to ramp up a little bit. Never been here before. Hello, my name is Mark. I do upload every single day. Usually when there's storms like this, I'll upload a second update like this afternoon. And if it becomes a real serious threat, I will be live streaming this event, of course. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I am all year round. Now, guys, what y'all looking at is the NAM3k. Matter of fact, I'm showing three models, three good models, are showing three different impacts. So we have to go through each one. I'll go as quick as I can. Remember, I do put the links in the description just to save you time, especially on a day like today, 4th of July. But I want to make sure you have your weekend planned accordingly because things have changed. Now, NOAA has updated the track, and it has it going to a tropical storm towards Tampa and then a tropical depression when it gets towards Jacksonville, just like we spoke about this morning. Then staying a tropical depression as it goes over the Carolinas, and then possibly becoming a tropical storm as it leaves again. Matter of fact, there's a couple models. See how the NAM3k goes still straight towards the panhandle of Florida. NAM3k is the next 60 hours. It's a very good model. Also, you have the Euro and the GFS starting to take a little more eastern track. So maybe the NAM3k will come on a little later. Maybe the NAM3k is right. But these two of the top two, are trending together. Just intensities are a little different. I'll show you why. I know exactly what's changed. Now, just to be well-rounded, let me show you what the top winds are so far for the NAM3k, just so we can get in and out of the NAM3k. And so far, the top winds is somewhere around 60 miles per hour. 66 to be on the high end. Now, the Euro takes this a little bit more eastern, and I'll show you why. They have steering winds. We have some shear, but there's a pocket from Cape Coral all the way to Tampa where the shear will leave, and that is his chance to intensify. Matter of fact, that's his chance to turn into Florida as well, because after that the pocket opens up with the steering winds to keep going north into the Gulf, where it'd be more like a northern Florida event. You see with the rain bands, as this comes first from Cuba, it's going to be a band, but mostly a big puff of thunderstorms. It got chopped off as it went through the mountains. It was the northern part of Elsa, and it's going to come in and bring a lot of rainfall. Now, a couple of reasons why this is bad is because a lot of it heads for Tampa and Sarasota, and this is why the tropical storm watch has extended all the way out towards Tampa and Sarasota. The reason why this is bad is because a lot of heavy rainfall going over Tampa and Sarasota. This is like from New Orleans. That's where I'm from. And it's 10 feet below sea level. So it'd be very easy to get some bad storm surge, some flooding. And that's their main threat, is going to be some of the winds could be high-end tropical storm. Some of them maintaining, barely tropical storm. But the main threat is storm surge and flooding for this area mainly. Although according to both models, Euro and GFS, this storm is going to come whipping by right here and cut in towards Florida. Now, if it gets cut off, like I show, and it don't take that northern track, this is where it's going to go in at. Somewhere around Tampa, you would be getting the max winds. Matter of fact, I'm showing your area is still good for strong tropical storm force winds. But as we go through, you see that patch of storms rises all the way up Florida, starts dissipating as it gets north. There's a lot of shear coming off. But you can see the storms coming through, and this is according to NAM3k. It's just going to flow straight towards Tallahassee over and over and over with bunches of thunderstorms. And with these lines of thunderstorms is going to be some dangerous winds, so you need to be careful of that. Now, the Euro and GFS is taking all this a little more eastern to where this goes over Florida and possibly carrying up South Carolina, dissipating around North Carolina. Now, the latest update on Tropical Storm Elsa is 60 miles per hour with 1,009 millibars. The latest on the flash flooding, now you got to remember, this graphic here is from Sunday, July 4th, all the way through Friday, July 9th. This is a 5-day graphic. It's not like the storm's coming and this is going to be your impact. It's going to be gradual. But anyway, the yellow is 4 to 6 inches. That's still always been the heaviest. The big heaviest is still going to be over the Gulf, and all the dark green is 2 to 4 inches possible of rainfall. You can see some yellow up here by the Panhandle and southern Alabama as well. Now the peak storm surge went all the way up to Swanee River. That's the update. Plus it's 2 feet all the way from Bonita Beach all the way to Swanee River. A lot of that's because it's below sea level or very lower lands than the rest of Florida. So the storm surge really affects y'all a lot more. It went down to 1 to 3 feet below that, and Florida Keys, you're still at 1 to 2 feet. It was 2 to 4, it went down. One thing to remember is this surge is related. Flooding depends on a relative timing of the surge and the tidal cycle, and it can vary greatly over short distances. So some people can get 2 to 4 feet, while others get 1 to 3 feet, while one get 3 to 5 feet. It depends where you're at. And I tell you, Tampa to Sarasota, being at below sea level, that's really not a good thing. And this is the main reason why the two models are showing two different things. This is our system here. This is our 200 millibar streamlined winds. And this is pretty much what steers the current as it's moving. And you can watch how the current's pushing northerly from the south. And then as the system moves forward, it's still open. It can still push north. And then it gets closed. And you get a deep trough and some strong steering winds that will be with some strong shear as well. That's pushing this east. From southwest to northeast. So that's why some of these models are choking in real quick, hugging up somewhere around Sarasota, and that puts all the heavy thunderstorms on the east side. So that would be very heavy rainfall going all up Florida. And you can see it in the next move how it goes forward, but at the same time, right after that closes, it opens up a northern path, and that's what the NAM3k and the GFS is showing as well. But the GFS's latest run has updated to a little bit more eastern of a push. So maybe this is slowly closing back or slowly not being as open. And since it's 3 days away, this should probably bend a little bit more towards what the Euro is thinking. But according to the GFS, it goes straight a little bit further. Rides those northerly winds. They even get pretty strong. It even goes even further to northern Florida. The Euro takes it where it rides those hard streamlined winds in and it curves in quick. I'll show you. And here is the wind shear. So you can see it's getting sheared off right when it's coming right off of Cuba. And as it heads north, it starts getting that westerly winds that pushes it right into Florida. And the Euro is seeing that as going in. It's not going to be able to fight forward path after that. You can see how strong the shear is on the north and the south side of this system. Now this is the latest run from the Euro model, and I got it up here where you can see the time and date as it comes by. And so far it's somewhat weak on the edge of the Florida. So on the Euro it heads right up towards Cape Coral, and by 2 p.m. it should be right outside Cape Coral. Y'all getting a bunch of storms as this comes by. And now it's going to come on land real close. According to the Euro. Then right about 8 p.m. it's going to come on land on Tuesday, July 6th. And all the storms are east side loaded, heavy rainfall and the winds. And it'll take about 6 hours to move over towards Tampa, and so far Euro has it straight over Tampa as the main impact place. That right there is 2 a.m. on Wednesday the 7th. From 8 p.m. Tuesday to 2 a.m. on Wednesday. And then according to the Euro, it moves across northern Florida and heads up the coast. And just to be well-rounded, the GFS takes it where you do have some bulky storms that come, not just bands and bands. More like it's going to be bulky storms. I did see a big chunk come off when it hit Cuba. It really ripped it. But it has it coming around Tuesday, 5 a.m., right west of Miami with some good storms, east side loaded heavy. It looks like the GFS is showing heavier rainfall amounts, but still, right here by Sarasota and Tampa, all that swirling will just keep dishing water and wind right into you. So being 10 feet below sea level, I believe your storm surge will go up, Tampa, because if this plays out on both models, shows it right up the coast by Sarasota, it would be spinning counterclockwise and throwing rain and winds straight in you for a while. That would start around Tuesday at 11 a.m. all over Sarasota. It'd move to Tampa by 2 p.m. Sit there swirling and swirling. Finally, the outer edge by Tuesday at 8 p.m. as it moves over towards Gainesville, a little bit more to the west. Now, the NAM3k just says that they're both crazy, and it's going to go straight towards Panama City. It's going to whip it a bunch of rain bands as it comes by. And I think maybe the NAM3k will maybe go a little more eastern, because the GFS did upgrade to a little more eastern push. But you can see the nasty squall lines that's going to come with this, and it's going to fan out pretty good. So far it looks like the storms are Tuesday 1 p.m. going to band across all the way till 8 p.m. on Tuesday, and it's going to head somewhere towards Panama City. All we get is 60 hours with NAM3k. It's supposed to be higher resolution. And when I put it on high resolution rapid refresh, which is supposed to be the best, in my opinion, for some reason the NAM3k does a lot better than that model, and it's supposed to be the best. But still, even that model, if we're going to sit here and compare it, takes the low pressure very wobbly. That's what it does, just wobbles around. But it takes it on a little more of a western northwestern push from Cuba and going away. And if it comes back, it'll come back super weak because of the wind shear that kicks in. But this is a high resolution rapid refresh. And this is by Tuesday at 2 p.m. Now, this is your vorticity, and this is on the euro. And I want to show you this because it might look kind of scary as it goes by. Okay, it goes from pretty much nothing, weaker. You can see how it gets weaker from Cuba to where it looks like it's super strong. And then it carries by South Carolina super strong as it goes away. Just so we know what we're talking about before we move on. But that is just a 999 millibar pressure. That has 35 knot winds to that vorticity of what you see. And that's about 40 miles an hour, barely making it a tropical storm. Just so you know what you're looking at. I know it looks scary, but that don't mean it's no hurricane. And here's the same shot on GFS. And you can see how it looks pretty bad with the vorticity in it. And it gets even rougher as it gets towards Tampa. And then it takes it to the north of Florida. And it looks rougher than it actually is. Because according to GFS, it does have a lot of rain. Matter of fact, that's going to be your biggest threat. A whole bunch of rain, a lot of storm surge, and trees falling over, power outages. That's what you're going to need to watch out for. But that was only 1,003 millibar pressure. That's what that looked like. It just looks scarier on vorticity, guys. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. According to the Euro, let's go over the Euro first. This is your wind gust. This isn't your 10-meter winds. I will show you this is your wind gust. And right when it comes out of Cuba, it has up to high 60s. I even saw a 72 in there, wind gust right before it goes across Florida Keys. But that don't look like it stretches that far east Keys. Just be aware there is 72 in that according to the Euro. Then as it moves forward, you can see it weakens because all that wind shear. But once it gets from Sarasota to Tampa, that's going to be its sweet spot. It gets all the way up to the 60s again, gets even stronger. This is where it gets cut in by the streamlined winds. It gets up to 74 miles per hour wind gusts as it moves in again, and Euro takes the streamlined winds and the GFS takes the streamlines after it relaxes. This right here is on Wednesday, early in the morning, and you're talking about 78 miles per hour, 83, 85 miles per hour wind gusts. 88, guys. This 94. Okay, I didn't see that one. 94 miles per hour wind gust possibility with the storm. So if the Euro is right, this thing is really going to wind up. One reason, this whole area is saturated. And before this comes on, the whole area is going to be saturated with more storms. So when that happens, plus this whole corner piece right here, this whole spinal cord of it, is all 10 feet below sea level. That keeps the storm still strengthening while it's on land because it's not dry land. It's very flooded land. So I can see it lasting a little bit longer if that was to play out. And that is on Wednesday morning. And as it moves through, you can see it keeps good strength up to 87 miles per hour wind gusts still. A little bit weaker in the 60s in the north, but it's real strong right around Tampa, behind Tampa. And as you go into Wednesday, right around noontime, it's in the 60s now, right over Jacksonville. I saw a 71 on the south side. As it goes towards South Carolina, it starts to pick up a little more speed, being right over the ocean. Starts to get into the 73 miles per hour wind gusts again. When you look at the 10-meter wind levels for the Euro, you can see it does weaken down. Then after it gets shoved east from the streamlines, that's at one of its most potent points. And that is 45 knot winds. That is about 55 miles per hour. As it gets on land to 32, 40 knot winds, which is about 50 miles per hour. So you're going to have about 55 to 60 miles per hour winds all the way from Cape Coral all the way to Tampa. And as it gets on land, it'll change to 50, then 40 as it moves on and quickly downgrade to 40 and 35. The GFS takes it by with a bunch of bulky storms before. Matter of fact, we even saw this earlier. It actually was an upper level low passing while this was passing. So maybe that's what the NAM is picking up, is that upper level low in the Gulf. GFS finally said, okay, that's an upper level low. It's not going to be nothing. This is the track. That's why it moved further to the east. So the Euro could be finally on point right here, guys, to where we have a big problem. A lot of rainfall for Tampa, a lot of wind, and if the Euro's right, it's 50 miles per hour winds, maybe 55, with very high wind gusts up to 94. When you follow the 10-meter level for the GFS, you can see it's very weak. 20, 30 knots. That's tropical storm. That's 40 miles per hour. It gets all the way up to 42 knots, which is a little over 50 miles per hour. But you can see at the same time, here's our storm, and here's the upper level low that we saw earlier. So that's probably what the NAM3k is picking up, and hopefully that will wake up soon. And then the energy follows in. Nothing really big, 10-meter level. 40 miles per hour winds from Tampa to Cape Coral. That's all I can see. And then it's going to pass by South Carolina, mostly east side loaded with all the rain, but the rain bands will come around. Matter of fact, that's what happened to Jamaica. It showed that it would be about 3 to 5 inches on eastern Jamaica, but then after it crashed and brushed by Jamaica and weakened it, it brought the rain bands around, and it smacked it with a second time. So God bless Jamaica. That storm really did a twist number on y'all at the last minute. And it shows that it's going to get strengthened as it goes out to the northeast, somewhere by North Carolina on the side of Virginia. And the wind gusts from the Euro. It shows as it passes by Georgia, most of the winds will be off into the water, but Charleston could see some 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. St. Mary's, some 60. All the way up to Myrtle Beach with some 60s, maybe even topping out on some 70s as the storm passes, because it is strengthening as it goes. Matter of fact, it gets to 72 in North Carolina. And the 10-meter winds, according to the Euro, shows about still a tropical storm, 45 miles per hour winds. It gets up to 50 as it passes by Georgia to South Carolina, stays at 50 and strengthens when it goes by South Carolina to 60 almost as it goes by North Carolina. And the wind gusts so far from the Euro has it up to 82 and 84 by Wilmington Thursday 2 p.m. as it passes by. Very strong wind gusts, 70 and 80 miles per hour for sure. So watch out for that according to the Euro. Total rainfall between July 4th and July 9th, according to the Euro, shows a nice big heavy streak of 4 to 5 inches straight across anywhere from Cape Coral, Sarasota, straight across to Jacksonville, with a big chunk going to Pensacola Heights of 9, almost 10 inches. So you need to be aware of that. Stretching across the coast of Georgia and the coast of South Carolina, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, 2-3 inches as it goes towards North Carolina. The GFS shows it a little bit different. It shows everything will be on the coast because it won't turn in when those streamlines push, but it will be a heavy spot with rain bands of almost 7 inches east of Tampa. But everything is pretty much 4 inches for Tampa, 4 or 5 inches for Sarasota. Panama City might see 4 inches. And it's only 1 inch as it goes by South Carolina, North Carolina, with a hot spot in southern Georgia, almost 6 inches just north of Valdosta. All right, guys, so that's the update. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope you used the links in the description. Hope you have a very safe, happy July 4th tonight. Do me a favor, before you go, hit that like button if you enjoyed this update. Help get the word around a little bit that this thing has good potential for some strengthening. Now, this has updated. It has updated pretty good. It predicts it instead of a tropical depression. It is predicting it to be a tropical storm, 44 miles per hour max winds. They don't know the gusts yet. And as it passes by Sarasota, 53 miles per hour max winds, and it's not figuring the gusts yet. And it's predicting it to be a storm and finally somewhere be a tropical depression. It don't know where yet. It just knows that there will be a weakening. I think it'll probably be the last tropical storm all the way over to South Carolina and then depression off. But I'm going to play this for you. This NAM3k. It has moved a little bit more eastern, more like this track here, or maybe even this pink track right here. That's what the NAM3k is showing. Song 127. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman walketh but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb in his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. Amen. I also want Psalm 128. Blessed is every one that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands, happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house. Thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. The Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life. Yes, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. Amen. Have a great day, guys. I will pinpoint this some more in the morning and see exactly what's going on with this, because it is still all over the place. But however it is, we do see intensity. So be aware. There will be flooding. There will be storm surge. All glory does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob. Amen. Happy 4th of July, everybody.